Guten Tag. So, I am trying to do an update finally because I haven't done it in a good while. And the audio quality might be bad here. I don't have like a microphone or anything. This is just a computer, so it might be a bit potato quality or something. But I've been thinking about making videos, of course, a lot. And when am I supposed to get back to YouTube? And so it happened is once in a blue moon I decided to actually put on the camera and record something. So I don't remember exactly when I made the last video. I could go look it up, but I'm not going to. Um, I'm just gonna not cut myself off or anything. But so for this year, I have been ever since uh, January or February. I think January. Anyway, since the winter, I have been taking a course in English, 25%, so at a quarter speed, and I'm just about to finish it. I only have a few um, sort of tasks left, and I've done decently, but I haven't done as well as in Swedish, so I don't know if I'm gonna get an A, but I should probably get a B at least. So I'm about to finish a course in English, and I thought, maybe when I am no longer having this course, then I will have a bit more mental space to think about other things like making videos, because I've been thinking a lot about my work and how to perfect it, because I want every detail to be perfect. And so I feel like I can't necessarily do too many things at the same time that require effort. And I do think that making videos on YouTube requires some effort, certainly, even though it seems like it should be very easy to do. It's something that I need something to talk about. I need to feel like I'm ready to do it. I need to feel like I have some sort of flow, and not just pause, because that's sort of what I do when I'm unprepared. I guess I could sit potentially for several minutes and just think about what to say. Um, and so I feel like I require some preparation and some effort, and I my mind has been occupied with other things. Um, so my experience with this course that I've taken in English is that I thought I knew more than I actually did. I thought I was about as fluent in English as in Swedish, and then I realized there are a lot of basic things that I didn't even know. But I know a little bit more now than I did back then. But certainly English is not as easy as Swedish is, in particular when it comes to talking about everyday things. Like I could go walk in a forest or a place like that, and I would struggle to name a lot of the things that I see. Um, I struggle with talking about where I live because I don't know what like county or municipality or all of that means. Um, so that's the kind of stuff I have been working with lately that I should probably have learned many years ago, but I didn't. Instead, I just learned all the philosophical terms. But yeah, I have been very stressed out for this last um, sort of assignment, I guess, because it involves an analysis of a short story that's about like finding out someone who finds out the date of her death. And so I have got to answer questions like, would you want to know the date of your death? And honestly, I thought about it. That might be one of the, if not the hardest questions I've had to deal with. So, I mean, this isn't exactly a philosophy class, but I had to try to get a bit philosophical, which to be fair, I like it, but I feel like this is kind of very complex. And like, would it impact the society if we could know when we're going to die? That's a very big question with very many parts to it. And I'm supposed to sort of come up with an answer within a couple of weeks. But I've been trying my best anyway with that, and so I'm not certain. I'm never certain I'm gonna do well. I'm not certain. I mean, the grades could end up being bad, but I don't know. Um, I always say that, and most of the time it turns out good anyway. And also, I have 2 days left to finish it, so um, yeah, It's not too late, I guess. So when I'm done with my English course, I'm going to take a break from studying from like this official type of studies because I feel like I need it and because it seems like I'm just not able to focus on much else or to really ever relax whenever I have these studies. I always feel the pressure, like if I haven't figured it out already several days beforehand, then I might just fail totally. This might be the one time when I fail so hard that like it derails everything that I worked for. I always have those thoughts, and that is not something that I want to put myself through. Instead, I've been spending a lot of time laying in bed, essentially just trying to study and things like that. Being home, just making sure that I sort of know what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to study, instead of going outside. Because if I go outside, then I'm not really working, and I feel like maybe I'm wasting some time. And that shouldn't be really the case because I know that it's important for health. Today I have been outside at least for a while, so that's good. Um, and I hope to be able to do that more when summer comes around because it is sort of the best time to be outside. Um, it's bright and um, it's warm, of course, and there's a lot to do, like bathing and stuff like that might soon become a possibility. Also, it's very warm right now. It's 20 degrees Celsius. It was like semi-winter until May or something, and then all of a sudden it turned into summer. The sky was like, oh my God, it's June now. I need to get my act together. So now we have summer, finally. So yeah, it's warm and bright, and my mood in general is going up and down, as it often is. But another thing that's going to happen is I think it's this Friday. It's going to start, and I'm going to go to a group, a sort of a therapy group for adults with ADHD, where we talk about different methods on like how to manage certain problems. Like, I personally think I'm not doing enough. Like, I beat myself up over not, for instance, posting enough on YouTube. I have a lot of ideas, let's say, and very little, like a very tiny amount of those get implemented. And of course, it leads to sort of me beating myself up, and I feel like I sometimes engage in some destructive behaviors and coping mechanisms. Um, so I guess that's the kind of stuff. I don't know exactly what it's about, but it will be several people, and we will have to work like every week on certain tasks. But it's about like try to be present and like things like that, and try to challenge yourself, I suppose. But overall, I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I felt like, okay, well, I tried the medication, but um, it's not like it has taken away like everything. That's not what it does exactly. Um, and I don't think, like, maybe some people do feel like it takes away all the problems, and that's not what I've been thinking. Um, like, if you have a whole bunch of problems, it might make some things easier, but it's not a magical thing that, completely turns everything upside down. And not for me anyway. And I need to, like, because I'm coming from a place with a lot of baggage already, and no pill isn't going to take away all of that. And the fact that I guess I never really learned healthy coping mechanisms. I've been very isolated. I've had to figure out a lot of my a lot on my own. And yes, as you might see, I have gained a decent amount of weight lately. I attribute that partly due to studying, because it's been one of those things where I'm like, feel stressed, and so one of those things that I know how to do, or have a way to manage it, is eating. Um, I had a better sort of relationship with food perhaps for a while, but then I sort of went back into my old coping mechanism. So yes, I am sort of I don't know if I'm overweight. I'm a sort of borderline overweight at the moment. I've gained uh, almost 20 kilos since last May, I think. So yeah, that's impressive. I don't know. Um, I haven't really weighed this much in years. I think since I was 14, so that's like almost a decade. And so I try to work with that and try to, get out, but it's not necessarily something that's going to happen overnight. Um, I just, man, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta, but yeah, like I said, it might just change a little bit now that I'm soon done with these studies, because then I will not feel like I all day around I have this thing that I need to just accomplish before a certain deadline. I do studies on my own, and I like to learn things, but it's not like I need to prove anything to anyone else. So I like to learn languages. That's really my big interest, passion at the moment. But of course, I don't need to prove for anyone else that I have learned, a certain amount of words in a certain language. So I guess it's not really the same pressure. I can just do it on my own, in my own pace and everything. Um, but yeah, I don't know if I mentioned. Um, I have achieved some things. I guess I can mention that I started studying German in late August of last year, and at this point, I can understand most of what I hear. I certainly wouldn't be able to do that 1 year ago, but now I listen to German podcasts, and I'm like, I notice that I understand almost everything. So that's a very concrete achievement, um, that I can say, that I have progressed in some way lately. And then I'm studying Spanish, French, and Italian at the same time, which might not be a good idea, because it slows down progress. But I thought that, people say they're very similar, and so I thought, well, I might as well do it simultaneously. And I'm come somewhat, I'm doing best, I guess, with Italian and perhaps Spanish, and the French is a bit special because of the pronunciation versus the writing. Um, but I can understand in general what people are talking about, I think. So, and that's something I started in February. So I have noticed concrete, progress on that front too. And then I started learning some Greek words, and I tried to master the Greek alphabet. I started only a couple of days ago, but I'm pretty close to having learned it now. Um, where I have learned it, it's just a matter of will it stick in my long-term memory. So I have to, practice it, continue on with that. Um, and it's, you might say I try to learn too much at the same time, but I don't necessarily think so. I think having a bit of variation, like if you get tired of one language, you can sort of jump to the other language. So I think that might actually be a good thing, and I'm not expecting to be fluent in all of these languages anytime soon. So um, yeah, but I'm just curious because I know that a lot of this, like a lot of the terms we use in, for instance, science or medicine and whatnot, are they come from Latin or Greek. So I find it interesting. I want to know the origins of all of those words. Um, so that's sort of why I'm choosing these languages in particular, rather than some others. Um, so yeah, what can I say? I don't know. I don't know if I have much more to say at the moment. Maybe there's something important that I missed. But if there is, then maybe I'll come back at some point and talk more specifically about that. Um, I think I'll end this here. Bye.